recently interviewed Tamala Jones.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw a little bit of that.
She's
The
a
lovely
good
Tamala Jones.
actress. I like her.
She was in the movie Booty Call.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about Bill Cosby.
He said this film was disgusting and that it showed that African-American young people only think about body parts and sex. But now look, and I hate to say that, you should really be careful how you speak to people and what you do while you're doing this, because no one's squeaky clean.
But here's the funny thing. When I worked for Cosby, Jamie Foxx, I was audience coordinator for Cosby show. That's like 98, whatever, when I first moved to New York. And Jamie Foxx was supposed to be on one of our episodes.
Okay.
But Cosby didn't want him on there because of the Booty Call thing. When did Booty Call come out? Like, it was like in the 90s. It was like
yeah.
with Fox and Tommy Davidson.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they were like, Jamie's not gonna.
97.
Yeah, Jamie's not coming. They were like, why? Because Cosby, they had a little beef because of Booty Call. Because there's a scene where Jamie's like, you see, I wanted to put the thing in the thing. He's doing some Cosby shit, and then Cosby calls, say, I didn't appreciate what you did. You shouldn't have done the thing and the bop a doop a doop and the bop. And he did like the same thing he did to Eddie Murphy. Remember with Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, the Florin film.
The Flair, then the Florin. And so, yeah, that's so funny that Cosby, like, shut that down, too. And I was there.
Yeah. She actually said something very interesting, because we talked about how, we talked about the whole Geoffrey Owens thing.
Geoffrey, yeah.
Yeah, Jeffrey
Okay.
Jeffrey Owens. About him working at
Yeah,
Trader Joe's and stuff
Alvin,
like that.
who played Alvin.
Trader
Joe's.
Right.
Because I got a bone to pick with you, Vlad. I don't really
Okay.
like your attitude when it comes to this.
Fair
but
enough.
let's
It's an
go ahead.
unpopular opinion.
And
I checked you on that.
Yeah,
You're a little
both
too
you-
cavalier with this shit.
Fair
Go
enough.
ahead.
But she said something very interesting. She said, because if you look at the Cosby Show cast,
Yeah.
the majority of them didn't do anything after the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Malcolm Jamal Warner's
the
Warner's
jazz.
getting a little bit something.
Yeah.
Raven Simone was the only really,
Right. Who made some real money with Disney and all that.
and
stuff.
she gave me a very interesting perspective on it. She said the reason why she thinks that happened is because
The hypnosis, I'll use that loosely, that Cosby had entranced all of those kids and people that he worked with. Because if you look at that track record, nobody has really gone on to do more outside of the Cosby Show, from the Cosby Show.
Well,
Agreed.
it fucked up Lisa Bonet's shit. Remember when she did that?
Well, she was the
movie?
only one that said, fuck y'all. I'm
Yeah.
going to be naked in
You
Angel
were.
Heart.
And he was
You
like,
know,
what?
fuck it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm going to get fucked by Mickey Rourke in the movie. Fuck you.
And he had all that power, and it's scary. Think about it. He had
Yeah.
all that power. And when I was working for him, he was in the room. You're like, it's fucking Bill Cosby, man.
Yeah.
God damn. Like, you're like, damn, there's Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
And he was running the fucking show, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The dude was running the show in the 60s, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
And he changed television damn near single-handedly. He changed television for black people. What you gonna tell him? And in the 70s, he was killing it. And then in the 80s,
He was
killing
killing
it.
it.
Then turns a network #1. What you gonna tell this guy?
Yeah.
And then, you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's, and then.
But, with the Geoffrey Owens thing, and I understand a lot of people had a problem with it. And the reason why I push so hard on it is because I just feel that with my audience, I really have to hammer down that, listen, you have a long life ahead of you. You're going to be a senior citizen at one point. You have to make smart decisions along the way that in your latter years, you're financially set up to be comfortable, financially comfortable in your latter years. This is why you need a 401k. You need, what I'm saying? You need to put money aside and so forth. And I used him as an example. And I know that a lot of people had a problem with that, and it was nothing against him. But here's someone that everybody in my audience knew about. And here's a good example of what I felt, you should not do, because you do not want to be in his position when you're almost retired. And that's why I use him as an example. And I understand why people had a problem with it. And I was okay with people being mad at me over that.
I just feel like there's a lot of nuances and things that you're not taking into consideration. And I think you think things are very black and white. If somebody, like I saw you post something the other day, and it said something to the effect of, how many of y'all believe that your financial position is not your fault?
Correct.
Okay.
It was on Vlad Stocks.
Right. And I love Vlad Stocks. That's a great page, and it's a great service that you're doing. But that whole attitude, Vlad, is very Republican, very pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Keep
I'm
going.
just I didn't even get into the comments or nothing like that. I just looked at the post and kind of assumed what you were thinking at the time. And I'm just gonna let you know, like, especially for white people, like, especially the position that white people are in this country, y'all are not there from any extra due diligence or intelligence. You're there because you cheated. Okay? You're there because you did a bunch of shit that was unfair.
Yep.
You stacked the deck unfairly in your favor to create certain things for you to be able to have the certain wealth and 401ks and all this type of shit that now allows you to point back at other people and say, well, how come you couldn't do it like I did?
Well, hold on.
Very true.
That caption that I said, when I said, how many of you feel that your current financial situation isn't your fault? It was based on a post that said this. Today I realized, and I'm talking about myself, I said, today I realized that the best way to get over the anger
and I read that post.
The anger of past situations is to take responsibility for your role in those situations. The other person may not have acted correctly, but accept that you weren't simply a victim. The outcome is less anger and more learning.
And that was great, a great post if you hadn't connected it to money.
Yeah. Well, I did that post.
If you hadn't connected it to money, that's a great post for introspection and learning
and I was,
as a person.
Right. And to me, because I was thinking about people there's dead people I'm still angry at. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, why am I angry at a dead person? We'll never work it out. And I started thinking of the situation of why I was angry at that person. And I said, I was actually partly at fault in that situation. I've been thinking all these years that I'm the victim, but I'm actually partly at fault.
Absolutely.
So I suddenly stopped being so angry over him, at him, and that situation. And I started thinking about it and saying, on a financial level.
And that's where you went awry.
Yeah. I said,
that's where you
by
went awry.
connecting it financially, he said, how often did I feel when I was broke that it wasn't my fault? Let me just put that question out there. How many of you guys feel that you being in your financial situation? And the thing is, I said financial situation, leaving it open because a lot of people said, I'm actually well off right now, and it is my fault because I've been working so hard all these years. Because I've been making good decisions. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Financial situation doesn't mean a bad financial situation. Because people were saying, I'm fucked up because...
But isn't that what you meant?
No.
You meant that whether you have money, or whether you...
Is it your fault?
Is it your... Okay.
And if you look at the comments, a lot of people are saying, yeah, I've been making good investments and I've been careful with my money and keeping my job. And it is my fault that I'm in this situation right now.
Yeah.
Trying to clean that shit up.
First of all, I don't
He's talking about being
that's
broke.
what you were thinking in the beginning.
No, it was.
About good people.
It was.
About their fault.
It's my fault for being a billionaire. God damn it.
You were thinking.
No.
You were talking about broke motherfuckers.
Yeah, broke motherfuckers. Y'all think y'all broke
You almost tricked me just
somebody
now.
else's fault?
I said...
You almost fucked me up. You almost got me. Damn it.
And I'm saying, because first of all, you got broke people who work just as hard as some of these motherfuckers that you say, but yet they don't have the same amount of money. Why?
Yeah.
Why? So it's not about hard work all the time.
Nope.
Because you got people that are working double shifts, 2 jobs,
busting ass,
and all that. Yet this motherfucker got 1 job, working half the time, making way more money.
Right.
Why?
The woman who cleans my house works a lot harder than I do.
Did you just hear this? The woman that
who cleans my house works a lot harder than I do every single day.
So don't act like it's about hard work